Welcome students, myself Dr. Mukta. I will demonstrate lumbar vertebrae in this video. There are 5 lumbar vertebrae in human body. Out of these, first 4 they are typical lumbar vertebrae, while the 5th one it is having some distinguishing features, so it is atypical lumbar vertebra. So lumbar vertebra 5 is atypical one and first 4 lumbar vertebrae these are typical lumbar vertebrae. Lumbar vertebrae are easily identified from rest of the vertebrae as they are having large size and absence of costal facets on the body. Anatomical position: body is anteriorly, spinous process directed downward and backward posteriorly, 2 transverse processes laterally, vertebral canal facing directed upward, superior articular facets having concavity, they are upward, and inferior articulating processes with convex articular facets downward. So this is the anatomical position of the lumbar vertebra. Coming to the typical lumbar vertebra, the body is large in size and it is wide from side to side than antero-posteriorly. The height of the body is more anteriorly than posteriorly. This difference in the height leads to ventral convexity of the lumbar curvature. The pedicles, they are short and broad, directed backward from the upper surface of the body. So these are pedicles. The lamina, these are directed medially and backward and they complete the posterior boundary of vertebral canal. Vertebral canal, it is large and triangular, it is larger than thoracic region but it is smaller than cervical region. These are transverse processes, these are thin and tapering, they represent the costal element, they are homologous with the ribs of the thoracic region. True transverse process, it is represented by the accessory process which is at the posterior aspect of the root of this transverse process. The spine, it is quadrilateral in shape, posterior and inferior body borders, they are thick. These are superior articulating processes, they are farther apart than inferior articulating processes. Superior articulating processes, they bear concave articular facet, while inferior articulating processes, they bear convex articulating facets. So this is about the features. Now here the atypical lumbar vertebra, it can be identified from rest of the 4 vertebrae by large body, its large size. The pedicles, they are pyramidal in shape, attaching to the body as well as to the pedicle. The distance between superior articulating facet and inferior articulating facet is almost equal. Then the spine is short and the tip is rounded. The anterior height of this body, it is more than posterior height and this leads to the sharp lumbosacral angle. So these are some of the distinguishing features of this atypical vertebra. Now coming to the attachments, the lumbar vertebra, the body anterior border of the upper and lower surface, it gives attachment to anterior longitudinal ligament anteriorly. Posterior border, it gives attachment to of this upper and lower surface gives attachment to posterior longitudinal ligament. So this is anterior longitudinal ligament attachment and here posterior longitudinal ligament attachment. The upper surface, it gives attachment to the intervertebral disc, as well as lower surface it gives attachment to intervertebral disc. Lateral to the anterior longitudinal ligament on right side, lumbar vertebrae L1, L2 and L3, they gives attachment to the right crus of diaphragm, while on left side the lumbar vertebrae L1 and L2, they gives attachment to left crus of diaphragm. So right crus is attached to L1, L2 and L3 and left crus is attached to L1 and L2 on the left side. Now behind this there is origin of the psoas major muscle from the body of the lumbar vertebrae. So this area it gives origin to the fibers of psoas major muscle. Pedicles, they are related with the spinal nerve superiorly and inferiorly. Lamina, it gives attachment to ligamentum flava. Transverse processes, the tip of transverse process is gives attachment to middle layer of lumbar fascia. On anterior surface of transverse process there is a faint vertical ridge. This faint vertical ridge it gives attachment to anterior layer of lumbar fascia. Medial to this ridge there is origin of the psoas major muscle, while lateral to this ridge from this transverse process there is origin of quadratus lumborum. Posterior surface of transverse process it gives origin to muscles of the back, deep muscles of the back. Here we have seen this is the articular accessory tubercle. This accessory tubercle it gives attachment to medial intertransverse muscles. Coming to the spine, spine it gives attachment to the interspinous ligament, supraspinous ligament. On each side it gives origin to the muscles. These are multifidus and erector spinae. The tip of the spine it gives attachment to posterior layer of lumbar fascia. Here superior articulating processes, on the posterior border you can see here there is a tubercle. This is known as mammillary processes. So there are mammillary processes. These mammillary process which are present on posterior border of superior articulating facet, it gives attachment to multifidus and medial intertransverse ligament. These concave facet of superior articulating processes and convex facet of inferior articulating processes of these lumbar vertebrae, they form the joints and they allow the movement of flexion, rotation and extension to some extent. The vertebral canal here formed by the L1 and L2, it contains conus medullaris of the spinal cord, which is a tapering end of the spinal cord, while vertebral canal of the L3, L4 and L4, it contains cauda equina. Throughout the vertebral canal there is spinal meninges. So this finishes this attachment.